Pooja ma'am, we can start. Pooja ma'am?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all our esteemed parents, students, and educators joining us today for this insightful webinar on the mind emotion connection, a new paradigm for academic excellence. I am Pooja, delighted to be your host for this session. In today's fast paced academic world, success is not just about intelligence and hard work, but also about how we manage our emotions, focus, and stress levels. We have an incredibly accomplished speaker with us today, Ms. Rinku Jain, to enlighten us on this fascinating topic. Before we begin, let's take a moment to acknowledge the vision behind this session. That is, to help students unlock their full potential by understanding the powerful connection between the mind and emotions. It is my absolute honor to introduce our esteemed guest, Ms. Rinku Jain. Ms. Jain is the founder and director of Mosul Techno Solutions Private Limited and an internationally trained business strategist. She holds a BE from BITS Pilani and has pursued PGP Max from the Indian School of Business. She has also acquired several other specialized certifications from some of the world's leading institutions. With a deep expertise in strategy, digital transformation, and emerging technologies, she'll be guiding us today on how emotions shape our cognitive abilities and influence academic success. So, without further ado, let's welcome Ms. Rinku Jain with a big round of virtual applause. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pooja, for the kind introduction. And it is my pleasure to actually to be here and share my insights on this topic. So I would like to actually share a PPT. Uh, yeah, 1 second.
Sure, ma'am. Dear audience, Rinku ma'am will be sharing her PPT and very soon she'll be enlightening all of us. So please have some patience.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, but we can hear a lot of echo from your side.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
One second. Sorry for that. Hello, Shiva. It's better you share it, Shiva. I'm actually, I think it's, I have shared with you on your email.
I'm checking it.
Yeah. Uh, a very good evening to everybody, and very sorry for the delay. I had some technical glitch at my end, so basically I was not able to connect. Just after Pooja introduced me, it was a very warm. Thank you for the, great introduction, Pooja. And without any further delay, I would like to actually share my insights on this topic, the mind and the emotion connection, a new paradigm for academic excellence. So, it's a question for all of you. So, do you aspire to achieve both academic and personal success while developing strong leadership qualities? So, how many of you aspire to achieve both academic and personal success along with leadership qualities? Uh, the audience cannot answer. Can it not be an interactive session?
No, ma'am, audience, they won't be able to unmute themselves and answer.
Okay. So, have you ever realized how your emotions influence your ability to focus and study? So, a lot of us think it's only the logic or I mean, the way you think, all that is what leads to success. And we never focus on our emotional well-being or the EQ part of it. So this session will actually give you insights on how to actually develop holistically. So IQ versus the EQ. So what is IQ? IQ is logic, memory, language, numerical and verbal data, comprehension. And our emotional quotient deals with empathy, intuition, language, creativity, awareness, and identifying feelings. Now, how emotions affect our learning. So, emotions actually influence our brain function, especially the memory and the attention. So, positive emotion increases our motivation to do anything or our creativity. It helps us in better memory retention. It encourages curiosity and engagement. Whereas negative emotions, it causes stress and hinders our concentration. It reduces our brain's ability to retain any information, and then it leads to delaying things, and then a burnout also. So a balanced emotional state will improve our focus and problem solving. Now, if you've got a high IQ, high EI, emotional intelligence, you can quickly overcome exam stress and get on with answering questions. You can overcome burden, and you will actually have more concentration during dull topics. Like you might be facing certain topics and certain subjects like going very boring. So when you are emotionally stable, when you are in a balanced state of mind, then you can easily actually overcome stress and boredom in such situations. So, suppose a lot of us actually not every time we excel in everything. So, when you are in an emotionally balanced state, then even if it's a disappointing grade, probably then you will have the courage, or I would say, uh, you will be in a position to basically balance your emotions that time, and then still feel like, okay, this is I mean, I don't have to feel very bad about it. Maybe I would work hard the next time and then uh, get whatever I want. Otherwise, I mean, if this part is not focused on, we generally tend to basically get disappointed. So you can recognize if you're experiencing anxiety about an assignment. So when you're high on your emotional intelligence, you're more, you know how to cope up with stress. You practice mindfulness. So you're more aware of the current situation. So you can actually recognize if you're experiencing any anxiety or anything like that. And then you actually balance your emotions and you remain stable and calm even in the toughest situations. So this is a model of four intelligence basically. So the base model is physical body awareness and skillful use. The second would be IQ. The third would be EQ, and the fourth would be SQ. So physical, the base. If you see, the physical intelligence forms the base, and the spiritual intelligence actually represents the highest level of human potential. So I mean, to attain success in life, all these four parameters are very essential. It's just not like, I mean, you're very good at logics, you're very good at, I mean, reasoning and all the stuff. Your left part of the brain is very strong. Uh, then it's not that you actually excel in every field. You require a very balanced uh, you require a very balanced approach in dealing with situations to excel in any domain, be it academics or be it sports or anything. So if you see here, PQ is the physical body awareness and skillful use. IQ is the math and verbal intelligences. EQ is managing ourselves and our relationships well. And SQ is the inner wisdom guided by compassion, equanimity, inner and outer peace. So SQ is the intuition that tells you what to do. And EQ is, now you see the hierarchy. IQ is still below EQ. So you understand the importance of EQ here. And then SQ. Now, this is your whole brain training. IQ plus EQ plus SQ is equal to 3Q. So 3Q training employs three principal dimensions of intelligence which activate the brain. Both IQ and EQ are important, but they're not enough to maintain the top performance and provide enduring fulfillment. So the 3Q training, it actually unlocks the full human potential, and it increases a personal fulfillment and results in a very high performance. So, in addition to the IQ and EQ, the next level of intelligence, as I discussed in the previous slide, SQ, the spiritual intelligence, is also important. So, it's not about, so IQ and EQ are all about logics, thoughts, emotions, and SQ is about meaning and purpose, why we are doing all this. So, how do you increase your emotional intelligence? It's by developing self awareness, practicing mindfulness, owning your empathy. See, empathy is the highest form of leadership. So, you understand now, so you understand the importance of emotional intelligence in succeeding in any part of your life. The fourth one is using active listening and then adaptability to situations, building your social skills, and then any feedback. Well, you welcome feedback. Like when you are emotionally stable, then any feedback that you get from anybody, it should be, I mean, you welcome it and just not react to it. You learn about conflict resolution, and this conflict, see, everybody has conflicts. So all conflicts have to be actually, I mean, there's positive conflict, there's negative conflict. So every conflict has to be attended constructively. When in doubt, reflect. So whenever you are in doubt, have a reflection. reflect. Why has the situation occurred, or where have you gone wrong? So one must reflect on those things. So if you look at this is a PERMA model, wherein for maintaining this emotional intelligence, a person needs to have positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and then accomplishments. Positive emotions is feeling good. Engagement is about fulfilling work, interesting hobbies. Then relationships is all about social connections, intimacy, your emotional and physical interactions, love. And meaning is having a purpose in life. Accomplishments is about ambitions, your goals, your achievements, and then the pride in yourself. So this was all about emotional intelligence. Now let us talk about your IQ, or the way you, okay, let me actually be very specific to basically how you address your exams, or how do you study, the way you study, and like it's your basic approach to actually attempting anything with respect to the academics. So this is a learning pyramid. So a person actually, uh, the information that is grasped is, if you see, 5% from the lecture, 10% from reading, audio visual it's 20%, demonstration it is 30%, group discussion it is 50%, and practice by doing it is 70%, 75%, and teaching others it is 90%. So it's a mix of, like, when you actually want to master over anything, it's a mix of passive and active learning methods. So you see that, you see this hierarchy where, you see that by teaching others, or by practicing by doing, you learn more. How do you tackle a difficult subject? So you separate the information into chunks. You have now there's a difficult topic. What you could do is, you could just separate it into small pieces, small chunks. Then separate and then set small learning goals for yourself. When you look at the topic as a whole, you might find it complex or difficult. But here, what you could do is, you could actually learn things chunk by chunk. Set small learning goals for yourself. You complete one part of it, and then maybe you ask yourself, like, you complete the first paragraph, and then ask yourself what you have actually learned from this, and then set small learning, like, when you assess yourself from this topic. Shiva, there's a lot of distraction actually. Okay, set small learning goals for yourself, take notes, and then you, if you have taken one topic, and then you can write down notes instead of you can write down notes basically for that particular topic, or you try to understand that particular topic thoroughly, and then assess yourself using various methods, like I will discuss about it in the next slide, wherein that particular topic you could actually associate with something, with something, by maybe mind maps or visualization. See, I have actually in when I was when I was a kid, I used techniques like chunking, or mnemonics, or where you're visualizing, you're associating with certain things. Then I would use mind maps, and then teaching somebody, or recopying things. So that actually enforces your learning and makes the concept strong. So here we have a few active recall methods like flashcards or blurting, the Finman techniques, mind maps, summary sheets, or practice test. When you assess, then the concept actually you know your gaps. Then teaching, then Q&A notes, then the AR sheets, visualization, mnemonics, and then group study. And then you can, I mean, it should not be like when you're studying, you're just studying continuously. Take study breaks. So that makes your study schedule more efficient. So you could actually, have poster stretches, or you could actually write down, that is a brain dump, or you could listen to music or go for a walk, and then have a schedule breakdown, or maybe take a break. And that last, I would say, see, now I've discussed basically on the IQ part and the EQ part. And we have discussed in the beginning about the spiritual intelligence too. So basically, I'm not sure how many of you have heard about Ikigai. So Ikigai is about finding your higher purpose. So when you have actually, whatever you do, there should be a uh, meaning or a purpose behind it. So this Ikigai is about what you love doing it. What's your passion? What's your what's your passion? What's your mission? And then profession or your vocation. So maybe you'll have to look at your strengths, and you must find out what you love, and you must also see if the world needs it. And this is all about uh, this is when you want to actually decide for your future. When you're in your 11th or 12th, you might want to do something. So always choose a field which you are interested in, or in which you are passionate about. And see that uh, the world needs that, and then you can be paid for that, and then you would definitely excel in that particular field. So emotions and learning are deeply connected. Managing emotions effectively can improve focus, retention, and overall academic success. By practicing emotional intelligence, students can achieve better results and enjoy the learning process, and take control of your emotions and unlock your full potential. Now, these days, we see a lot of, lot of kids are glued to the gadgets. So, when actually kids are glued to the gadgets, I'm sure here we have an audience, which in which we have parents and students. So, this is for you kids. So, when you're glued to the gadgets, then you spend less time with your uh, parents or your siblings, or with your social circle. So you don't develop your emotional intelligence there. And you've seen that emotional intelligence is equally important besides your IQ, uh, to actually achieve success in your life. So, I mean, in this, at least maybe 2 decades back, that was not the scenario. But today, even a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old wants a gadget. So, the kid is basically more engrossed in, seeing what's happening on the reels, Instagram, or face. Mostly, the kids are generally more glued to the Instagram or games. So, what we see is the kids are lacking on the emotional quotient, and that is very essential for the success of any person. So I would recommend that, I mean your screen time should be reduced. You must use your screen time only for what, only if it can give you some knowledge in some way, and in a limited, I mean, maybe a limited period. Other than that, I don't think you should be actually using gadgets much. because you need to actually develop this angle of yours so that you develop holistically. See, when you are actually with your parents, you share your you share what has happened in the school, or when you're with your friends, you discuss about things. So there you actually somewhere you are managing emotions there, uh, and trying to understand I mean, trying to understand your peers. So that is basically empathy. So when you are and then when you have time for self awareness, you actually are more aware of your emotions. But when you just have, whenever you're free, you are just spending time in front of a gadget or something like that. You don't have time for yourself. You are basically just involving yourself uh, in those. I see these days kids actually just spending hours together watching reels, which are of no use at all. So when you spend the time, uh, on yourself, understanding yourself, uh, maintaining calmness, or focusing more on yourself. So when I spoke about mindfulness, you are actually mindfulness is about being aware of yourself. That could be actually done through meditation. Spend some time for meditation. Uh, and when I talk about self awareness, so awareness about everything, everything, whatever you're talking. It's not about whatever you're talking, whatever you're doing. So awareness in everything that you do. So by these things, you're probably developing concentration, and you're more aware of your emotions. You feel, you know what you feel uh, about everything. So even suppose you come across a situation. Now suppose if it's an exam, and probably it's a tough question, or maybe even before, sometimes it happens before appearing for an exam, uh, you are in some panic state. So when you are mindful, or when you are self-aware, or when you are in a balanced state of mind, you are in a much better position to handle that stress that time. So you would actually, I mean, I recently heard of a case wherein that kid was actually appearing for a CAT exam, and he saw the paper, and then in the initial 5 minutes, he actually probably reached late, like the way I did today. No, I didn't join late, but then I had some technical glitches. So then, but this guy that I was talking about, uh, since it was an exam and it was CAT, he got panicked that time, and he got 96 percentile. All throughout the year, whenever he was practicing, he got 99 percentile. But just because he was in that panic state of mind, he got 96 percentile. His aim was to get into the IIMs, the three IIMs ABC. But because he got 96 percentile, he could not actually, he didn't want to appear for any of those interviews. So, and he did tell me, he did discuss this with me personally. He said that I was panicked the first few minutes. And in that, when I was panicked, I didn't attempt the first part of it in a very calm state of mind. Certain things which I knew, also I could not attempt properly. And then after half an hour or maybe 45 minutes, he could actually gain that balanced state of mind. And then he basically could do the other sections well. So that's how we actually got secured 96 percentile. But still, he could not actually achieve whatever he desired to. So I quoted this example because it's a real example, and you just understand. The importance of actually balancing your emotions. Even suppose if such stressful situations arise, and if you are in a balanced state, or if you are in a calm state of mind, then uh, I mean, how things change. I'll give you one more example of a sports star, Zinedine Zidane. So this person was a sports person, and in his field, basically, when he was actually playing, and that was uh, uh, and he was playing for a World Cup, and that was yeah. So there, his opponent wanted to actually instigate. I mean, make him. He knew the opponent knew his weakness, so he wanted to incite him. So the opponent actually knew his weak point, and he basically used some words to incite him, and he got frustrated then, and then he lost the game, and it was for a World Cup. He actually, I think there were 3 sets. He won the 2 sets, and the third set he lost very badly, and the only reason was because he actually he could not manage his emotions then. So that was the reason he failed, and he lost the World Cup, and that was his turning point. And he did not appear for any game after that. So you understand the importance of managing. It's not only the skill or the now suppose if in the case of academics, it is not only what you learn in the subjects. It's also if you want to ace any competitive exam, it's also about balancing emotions. When you're appearing for a JEE, IIT JEE exam, or when you're appearing for a BITSAT, or when you're appearing for a NEET, all these competitive exams require both. It is a skill, and on top of that, you need to balance emotions to basically to become a topper. Yeah. So this is here I would want to basically conclude. And if you have any questions, you're most welcome to answer. I mean, I would be actually ready to answer. Yeah.
That was truly an enlightening session, ma'am. Thank you for sharing such valuable insights with us. Now we would like to open the floor for our Q&A session. We have received some wonderful questions from our audience, so we will take a few of them. The
Yeah.
first question is from Chaitanya of grade 8.
Okay.
Chaitanya is asking, what do you mean by chunking?
Chunking is breaking into pieces. Like you have a one page of something to basically, learn. So you basically divide into small chunks, small pieces, and then understand that concept, and then understand basically that particular concept. Ask yourself or assess yourself in that particular thing, and then probably go to the next.
Thank you, ma'am. Sashida of grade 6 is asking, why do we get stress only during exams?
Because of the anxiety.
The anxiety.
You are anxious basically. 1 second. Yeah, you're anxious. That is the only reason that you get stressed. If you're not anxious, if you're cool, and if you feel confident about the subject, then you will not feel stressed. If you're confident about the subject, you will not feel stressed. So from where does the confidence come? See, one aspect is definitely the subject knowledge. But after gaining the subject knowledge, also you should not actually become anxious about it. So there is a few people have this exam anxiety also. Even though they know the subject, but when it is an exam, they perform like only 60 to 70% of what they know. So it's basically due to anxiety. So if you're able to manage your emotions well, then the 60 to 70% could go to 100%. So you have to practice mindfulness, you have to practice self-awareness. So when you focus on building your emotional intelligence, right, then you balance both.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next question is, what role does self-talk play in shaping a student's confidence and success?
Self-talk, yeah. Self-talk, when is it while you're preparing for a topic, or I mean, self-talk is as in what context? See, when you're preparing for a topic, there could be two cases. When you're preparing for a topic, suppose if there's a topic, and when you're preparing for a topic, and I mean, I mentioned in one of the slides that when suppose see discussing with anybody or teaching anybody is the best way to grasp any concept. But if you do not have anybody to discuss with, or if you do not, I mean, if you do not have any person to explain any topic, but what you could do is you could explain yourself. So basically, when you're explaining yourself, then you get to know the gaps. You will yourself understand whether you are actually, whether you've got all the concepts or not. And that will actually, when you're explaining yourself, the concept would be more stronger in you. I mean, I would recommend actually explaining it to a third, I mean, second person. But in case if you do not, I mean, if there's no person to explain to, you could explain yourself. And rather than actually just doing a monotonous reading, you could basically, I mean, learn a topic, explain it to yourself, or probably actually, I mean, connect the topic visually to something. So when you attach the topic to visually to something, you're learning. I mean, your learning is far better than just reading. Because when you appear for an exam, then you try to suppose if a question comes around it, then if you have associated with something, you actually can recollect better.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. What an enriching session we had today. A huge thank you to Rinku ma'am for sharing such valuable insights on the mind-emotion connection and its impact on academic excellence. We are grateful to all our parents, students, and educators for joining us and actively participating in the discussion. Let's take these learnings forward and implement them in our daily lives to unlock our true potential. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you in our future webinar sessions. Wishing you all success and emotional well being in your academic journey. Stay inspired, stay positive, and have a wonderful evening ahead.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah.